The channel. This is my first video, so bear with me. My lighting's not very good. I have no idea what I'm doing with this camera, although it's a pretty decent camera from what I understand. I don't know how to edit, but maybe you care what I have to say. You probably don't, but it's all good. Nothing personal. But anyway, I'm going to try to make some short videos. Maybe some long stuff in the future if people actually watch. It's just really me talking nonsense. So if you like that, and maybe my nonsense will be a little different than everybody else's. So, because, just being honest, I'm tired of seeing everybody say the same thing about every single watch, and, kind of kills the hobby, in my opinion. But anyway, let's see. So we'll try it out. So my first video, I have a Breitling Superocean Heritage 57. This is the Outerknown edition. So I know zero about Outerknown as a brand. I saw on their website though, they're kind of like a surfing sustainability company. Neither of those appeal to me. Never been surfing. I'm a lawyer in New York. I don't do all this fun beachside bonfire stuff. I have a wife and kids, but hey, why not? Sustainability, my town requires me to recycle, so I do that. It's pretty good. And I have a law partner that lives in Malibu. Maybe that gets me a little bit of a little bit cool dude points, but probably not. But anyway, so I like the color of the watch. I'll go into that. I like the watch itself, so Outerknown or not, I bought it. So the watch itself is based apparently on one of Breitling's original dive watches from the 50s. It looks like Breitling is marketing it as a surfing watch too, but that's over my head. But anyway, so here's the watch. I don't know if you want to hear about dimensions from everybody and their uncle. I don't have the little calibers. I don't have white gloves. To be honest, if I start doing that, I think I lost the plot, but let's see. So the big issue with me right now is, what do I do with this? Do I keep it? Do I sell it? And I'll just go into that briefly, just to see the pros and the cons. So the watch itself is great. I think it's objectively great. It's got a lot going for it, which I'll talk about, but you'll start to see from my collection that I'm trying to avoid repetition. I'm trying to correct some past mistakes I've made, basically buying things that YouTubers tell you to buy, or, forget even that, like just getting steered towards a watch and then buying it, getting that extra little push to buy it based on YouTube and Instagram and all that crap. But anyway, all right, so the good, I got a great deal on this watch. You could see these floating around. I think in different colors, they're like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 sometimes. I paid way less than that, and it's, I got it new. So, it's because of that, I feel like I don't have to be as careful with it. I can really wear it. I don't think it's a super rugged feeling watch, but I don't feel nervous wearing it. It's definitely not dainty. The face is beautiful to me. The color, you could see, even though my lighting's kind of crap, you could see how it's sunburst. It's like brown. I'm colorblind, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. No, that doesn't mean I see in black and white like a dog. But, I confuse colors. It's a problem. The finishing on this watch is great. It's high polish. You can see the ceramic bezel is shiny and nice. Even the strap is nice. I don't even like these nylon straps with the pull pass-throughs. I think it's kind of gimmicky. And it's also, I don't have to worry about my spring bars breaking. I'm not a Navy diver or anything like that. And it makes the watch a little bit thicker. You can see here. But the watch itself is also really thin. It's very wearable. It's, because that's a little, I wouldn't say it's dressy, but it's definitely dressier than like a Seamaster or something. And it's pretty unique looking. I don't know much out there that looks like this. You know, it's you know, there's, I mean, everybody and their uncle's making vintage style dive watches, but nothing quite like this. You know, very thin and finished this well, especially at this price point. But you know, there's some neutral stuff. You know, some watch nerds may be bothered by you know, this not being a deep sea diver. I think it's like 100 or 150 meters water resistance. Again, I'm not a diver. You probably aren't either. So you know, maybe you might want to overlook that with this watch. The crown is not screw down. You know, you see all these videos of people going, oh no, well, you know, it says 200 or 300 meters of water resistance, but because it's got no screw down crown, I'm not taking it in the water, I'm not washing my hands with it. That's, nah, I don't buy that. You know, I mean, it's, yeah, maybe that helps in achieving that number that they advertise, but you know what? That's on them. If they want to advertise it as 100 meters and it goes 10 feet in a pool and it clouds, that's a Breitling problem. But I get it. Then there's also the bi-directional bezel. It's not clickety clackety. You know, people are like, oh, listen to the action on it. It's so amazing. They don't have that here. It's friction. You know, but it's fine. It is what it is. Again, I'm not timing dives. You know, I don't need to even time cooking. You know, my toaster has a timer on it. You know, my oven has a timer. Everything has a timer. I don't need that for that. It's for looks. Let's all be honest. So the bad. Okay. Why would I want to sell this watch? I mean, it's not necessarily bad. More like, why am I selling? Or might I sell? One, the great deal. So yes, it works both ways. I could wear it more carefree, knowing that I didn't pay much for it, relatively much. But it also makes it easier to let go. You know, the watches I tend to hold on to, and just disclaimer, I'm not a flipper per se, but usually it's the ones I overpaid on, or I don't want to even say overpaid, but you know, the ones that I feel like, you know, I can't just walk away from without forcing myself to enjoy it. You know, I'm afraid of that financial hit. So it's more of a me thing. But for me, I feel like if I paid less, you know, that means I'm going to lose less probably. So I feel better about that. Or I may be able to recover, you know, a better percent of what I paid. The other issue, I cannot find the right strap for this watch. Breitling doesn't sell that OEM mesh bracelet that goes with the other colors for this, or they did and they don't anymore. I'm having a hard time finding that. Although I hear mixed things on that. So, you know, some I did speak to a boutique that said they could get it, but I mean, anyway, it's probably going to be costing close to what I paid. This strap, I hate it. It's decent looking, but it's so long, and I have a 7 1/8, 7 1/4 inch wrist, so it's not like I have a tiny wrist. I guess it's in the medium size zone. But look at this. I mean, I'd have to wrap it and loop it and this and that. I don't like that. It's kind of goofy looking, you know, to have this, you know, such a nice thin, you know, well-finished watch with this nylon strap that looks like it came on a kid's toy. I have a black rubber strap somewhere. I had it on there, but it was kind of thick, so it looked funny with that too, because you could see here the lugs are very, you know, very thin and slim and short. So I don't know. I haven't found the right strap. Did I look that hard? Not particularly. But back to what I was saying before about the mesh bracelet, I sort of have it on a new watch now. So I picked up this Top Time chronograph recently. Love this thing. You know, they're both nice pieces. I mean, the color on this is amazing. You know, probably the light's not doing it justice, but this has that strap. So I don't need two vintage style Breitlings on the same bracelet, even if I were to get that. You know, so that's there's that. And I think the biggest part of this, and I don't hear this brought up too much, but on these watch videos, but I don't want to be divorced, so I just bought 3 nice watches, including the Breitling, in the past 3 months. So, I'm trying to toe the line a little bit here. So, what does that mean? I'm not sure. I would have a little bit of guilt for keeping it, but put aside the guilt. I don't even know if I would wear it enough to justify it. And if I really wanted to, judge the standard, judge a watch on the standard of liking the looks of it or thinking it's well made, I'd have, if I could afford it, probably 1,000 watches by now. So, some just have to go. But, and also, some money in my pocket never hurts. What do you think? Let me know. I would love to hear some comments about my video, the presentation, the watch itself, whatever you got. All right? Catch you in the next one.